So before we get into this today, I'm going to jump into the book of Sirach, right, which is in the Apocrypha. And the Apocrypha is found in the King James 1611, right? It's found in the Geneva Bible. So for anybody who has questions about the Apocrypha, right, they have taken that book out, right? So that is another book that they have taken out. And we know why that they've taken that book out, right? For anybody who's read 2nd Esdras, these books, you will know why that they've taken this book out, right? They don't want this book in here. They don't want you reading this book. So the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. So he's saying here, just the importance of learning how to take care of your body, right? And a strong body above infinite wealth, right? But not only that, health and good estate of body are above all gold. Think about that. All gold. So he's putting so much emphasis on looking after your health, right? Learning about the warfare that's being waged against us, because this all factors into our health, right? So it's so important, and this is even backed up by the Most High himself, has given us this wisdom to realize that it is so important, right, to learn about these things, right, to not bury our heads in the sand when it comes to the warfare, right, because we've all been blessed with this temple, right, and to take care of it. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to have a six-pack, right, because even I would be guilty of it, you know what I mean? Like when I came into this truth, praise the Most High, I was very overweight. I managed to lose 30 kilos, just like many of you out there. This truth, when you learn these things, right, you learn about the warfare, right, it changes your life. So you have to let that change your life. Right, you have to do all of those things that people are going to look at you and think, she's crazy. She's crazy. He's just a hypochondriac, right? He's just worrying about everything, right? You have to let people, say these things about you, because at the end of the day, who has the ultimate say, and whose word is bond? So let's jump into the 38th chapter now, and we're going to start at verse 4. The Most High hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. With such doth he heal men, and taketh away their pains. Praise the Most High. So he has given us, right, the blueprint in the word. So this is not my own opinion, right? He's saying that he basically has given us everything we need from the earth, right? When we think of medicines from the earth, we automatically think of, how many of you out there thought of Chinese medicine? Herbs that they use, the plants that they use in their herbal medicines to heal all these sicknesses, right? To cure all these diseases, right? Sweet wormwood. And we see that wormwood is also talked about in the scriptures. Now, when we think, like I was saying before, right, we automatically think of Chinese medicine, right, herbs. But what we don't realize, brothers and sisters, is that minerals are something that also come from the earth. And so I have some minerals here, that I'm using to incorporate this within my daily routine, right? So minerals from the earth, right? We don't actually realize that, a salt is a mineral from the earth. And how much did Christ talk about salt? Oh, so we know that salt is a very, very important mineral. There he says to have salt in yourself. So when we look at some of these minerals and the effects that they have on us, right, we can see that, once again here, the Most High has created this out of the earth. These things can be used as medicine, right? Some of the amazing benefits that these minerals have is they have the ability to flush these metals out of our system. They have the ability to help flush the fluoride out of our system, right? All this garbage that, none of us consented to, right? We can actually learn to heal from that.